Alright guys, we are back with another movie reaction here. We have Grave of the Fireflies by Studio Ghibli. So, who knows, man? Maybe this movie will prove me wrong. Maybe you guys have just been teasing me. Maybe it's actually not that bad. Maybe it's actually really happy. Like, it's Studio Ghibli after all. What could they do to, make a sad film? They're always so, hopeful and full of joy. So, I can't imagine it'll be... No, I can't even bullshit. I'm looking forward to this movie, but also, from what I've heard, it's an absolute, emotional... what's a good term for it? I was gonna say F-fest, the word, but gotta be nice in the introduction for the YouTube censorship crap. So yeah, no. Or wait, I already swore, didn't I? I said bullshit. Oh well, we're done. Fuck it, throw the whole thing away. I don't know. I don't know anything really about this except it's like a war movie. I know that there's a little girl and a guy, just from the posters. And that's it. So considering you guys always say it's so emotional and stuff, I have a few theories as to what might happen to some of the characters, but you never know, right? Maybe it's a whole different thing. Maybe I'm wrong. So actually, it is just one of those movies where it's gonna suck, maybe, but you need to watch it. It sort of feels like something you kind of should watch at some point, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it and see what happens. So let's go. Oh, okay. me here thinking I'm so fucking smart. Oh yeah, I think I know what's gonna, I know what's gonna happen to these characters, right? If it's there's only so much that could happen in a war movie, And then literally the first sentence, they're like, yeah, I die. Just homeless. Yeah, at least a little bit of kindness, someone giving him food. But yeah, he's so far gone, it's kind of no, doesn't even want it. He's dead. Okay. Oh, well, maybe this isn't going to be an afterlife movie, is it? I'm just tossing it, dude. What is that? Is that bones? Oh, is that someone's remains or something? Oh, fireflies. Oh. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, okay. So they're both dead. That's awesome. That's a good way of starting it, isn't it? Yeah, that's really feel good. That's pretty... Yeah, that's pretty dark. What? Did he have the kid's remains in there? Just what was left of her? They were really small bones, so... What is happening right now? It's not actually telling us, the story before they died, is it? Because they're eating out of the can that he will eventually use to put her bones in. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's bad. Bro, we get to see it all happen. So we know... Well, I guess that's better, knowing what happens, but... No, it's not actually. I don't know. Okay. Find your brother. Okay. Yeah, why would they be separated though? Isn't it a little weird that the mom or the sister, whoever, doesn't take the girl with her? Oh, not the doll. There we go. Need the doll. Oh, it's going already. Saita, run! Forget the coats, bro. Just get out of here. Oh, God. Here they come. Yeah, it just came out just in time. Freaking run, bro! God damn! I guess maybe it's better to stay in place. Oh, God, the incendiary. Ah, shit. Well, I guess that's better than a straight-up bomb. Yeah. Everyone's livelihood just taken out, as easy as that, right? Everyone just, yeah, they just setting fire to everything. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. It is just not your day today, bro. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man's just standing there. Or was that? That wasn't where like the shelter was supposed to be, was it? Oh God. Oh. Oh God. Damn. Oh my. Yeah, geez, where do you go during all this? There's the shelters, but like they probably by the time the bombs like drop, they probably have them all like locked down, right? So it's kind of just fend for yourself sort of situation. That's fucked up. Just on the beach, I guess that's the best place to be. They're not going to aim for, well, I don't know. It depends what they're after, right? You know, you're either in a very open area, easy targets, or you're away from the bigger targets. So I don't know. Yep, whole place just gone, man. It's crazy how quick that shit works, dude. Like all of us, you're just living, and then those alarms go off, and you're just like, you know, your life is just done. Like your life has changed forever. Like, could you imagine just living, relaxing with your family, like in the yard or something? As soon as you hear those alarms, bro, like you know it's done. Like you know shit's going down. Nothing's gonna be the same. Like best case scenario, you need a new house, basically. Like unless you're incredibly lucky. I'm not gonna pretend to even be able to imagine something like that. But like, holy shit. Just anytime I watch a war movie, it is crazy to think that that was kind of the norm, like at any point in time. Like it's crazy just to think that it hasn't even been like a century since shit like this happened. Oh man. And it could easily, like it could happen again. You never fucking know. And that's brutal. I'm getting more dark with it than I need to at this point. We're 10 minutes in, but I'm just saying, man, like you can't help but get those thoughts when you're watching shit like this. Oh, not the shoe. Look how absolutely caring and like awesome of a big brother he is. You know, just seeing him like this, and then at the beginning, like we see what happens to him, to people like that during like times like this, man. It's like it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, you can just get like screwed over. Damn, is that the town? Like his town? Got leveled. That's crazy, man. Just took everything out. There's not a single person in sight. Oh, well, a few people, but... Yeah, it's gotta be so surreal, right? He's not even, like... He can't even really, like, emotionally invest into this situation because he has to look like the stronger older brother, right? Yeah, he's seeing all these, like he's seeing his town straight up destroyed. You'd think that'd be a little more emotional, but he's got to play it like cool. Oh no, it's not her. Sorry, they look similar. Oh, she's hurt though. Ah, shit. Wow, that's her. Yeah. Yeah, and how old is this kid? How old is Saita, man? Just seeing his mom like this. And yeah, it's like, I don't know. It all happened so fast, it probably doesn't even hit you that hard. Well, it does. Obviously, it hits you hard, but it takes a second, right? For the impact. Yeah, just let her sleep, honestly. Like, God, can't imagine the pain that would be. Oh, just lying to him. It's a tough call, right? Yeah, with kids like that, can't really like. Do you want them to see what the truth is, right? Would you want him to see his mom like that, and that be like possibly the last memory of her? Oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's like, what do you even do to comfort them? Like, can he? Yeah, distraction, right? Take their mind off of it. Damn, look at those moves, kid. Look at that, you can do that too. Oh, she's dead. Is she? Yeah. Damn. That's rough, dude. What do you even, like, what do you tell the kid at that point? Like, I guess, oh, is he straight up lying? Yeah, what do you tell the kid, man? Like, do you just let her believe that mom's still, like, okay? Or maybe the kid's smart enough to know, like, you know, something's up, right? Oh, what's what's going on? Oh, okay, sorry. I'm getting like really that took me a second to actually figure out what was going on. Is this basically like the ghost, like his ghost and her ghost are like kind of watching the events? Okay, I was kind of confused on the train there. I was thinking like, you know, what did he just give her to like some other guy to hold for a second so that like no one thinks they're together sort of thing? I don't know. I don't know why my brain went to that, but it kind of makes more sense. Yeah, like the spirits, we know they're dead, so maybe he's just kind of watching everything like a replay of it, I guess. Yeah, even lying to the aunt too about what happened. I'm kind of curious as to why he's keeping it a secret from the aunt. Oh, he was waiting for her to be asleep, maybe, to tell the truth, I guess. Mm. Yep, you can. Damn, man's thirsty, bro. Yeah, take the shower too. Let's go. All right, take whatever you can get, man. Gotta have a positive outlook on it, I suppose. I do just want to say, like, I feel it feels weird for me to say anything about the topic in general because I don't know much about war. I've for sure never experienced anything near the tragedy that they're going through or anybody who's been like, you know, in anything like that has gone through. But I guess like just from what I see, from what I've heard on other content and shit, it's just kind of, you need to take it, like you can't really dwell on it, right? As much bad shit happens to you, you can grieve, you can still think about the people you've lost, but you still have to like continue on, right? And I think that's a good kind of example of what this kid's doing. Like he straight up, he lost his mom, but he has to be the tough one. He has to be the one that's looking after the sister. So whether it's like, that's more of a healthy moving on, or maybe he's like forcing it a little bit. It's hard to tell at that point. I'm hoping it's more healthy and he knows that he has responsibilities that he needs to uphold and his sister needs him to be the strong one. Maybe like we don't know what he has went through before this, so he could have gone through bad shit already. You know, just growing up in a war, it'll do it to you because this is what 1945, I think he said. So he's been through this already for a few years, so he knows what's up. The kid, not so much. She's still new to all this. Oh, yeah, dropping it on her now. Yeah, it's a little messed up, but damn. It's crazy how kind of cool. Oh, okay, good. Kid's still safe. But no, they're just so used to it, right? Like I thought maybe the aunt was gonna have a bit more of a emotional reaction to hearing that is it her sister? Or is it maybe it's like sister-in-law? I don't know, but still hearing that her sister is dead. Well, I don't know. She did just leave, so you know, sometimes maybe she's playing a strong foresighter, right? Who knows? But okay, so the father is still around, probably a soldier, right? She said to write to the dad. So I wonder if we'll meet him or just gone. Oh, too tough. You're too strong, kid. I'm sorry if I'm not making as many, like, I don't know, just jokes or anything this episode. It just feels off, right? It feels weird to make jokes when you kind of know the content of what you're getting into and you know it's brutal. So I think it's okay to make a few jokes here and now, but obviously it's going to be a little bit more, you know, chill. Well, not chill, but tame episode, I suppose. Is that candy? Why is it glowing? Fruit drop. The fact it's glowing probably isn't that healthy, right? Oh. Kid says, I don't care. She's delicious. Give me another. Yeah. Crazy. Has to literally scrape at the bottom of the pot. You don't want to waste any food, right? You don't want any waste in these times. Even those little things, like you would have to be careful of, because unless you're like rich or in a good political position, or even like a soldier at this point, the food, like, it's either stupidly expensive or you literally just cannot get it. Like, they just cannot get it imported. They can't get it made. I actually read a book recently that sort of dealt with poverty in both like Korea, or in Japan, actually. It was mainly focused on Japan. It's called Pachinko. I forget the author, but I'll probably, put it up here. Actually, like, a fantastic book. It was a great book. And it actually went into detail about how, like, these poorer families, they had to fend for themselves. And like the woman, like this aunt, is there even an uncle around? Like, does she even have a husband? If not, like that makes it infinitely more difficult, because she has to get the food. She has to pay for the food. You can't waste any of it. They find ways of using like every single piece of edible food that you can. And yeah, just everything is so difficult to come by. Like, basically the big things that you could buy were like rice. And I think even that got expensive. Like, you needed to get like the cheap rice. There was like better rice that you could get, like more for like, bigger, more rich people, right? But basically a lot of the poorer families relied solely on rice. And even they're showing now, they don't want to waste any of it. They're scraping it. So I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. It's just, I wanted to kind of add that in there. Pachinko, awesome book. Well, kind of sad, but also awesome. Yeah. Should have gotten back by now. Yeah, that doesn't bode too well for the dad, maybe. Oh, blushing. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, only for a little bit, kid. We'll be okay. Yeah, it's wild. It would be difficult to take care of a kid during the war. Like, obviously, I don't even need to say it, but they wouldn't be able to understand. Like I said, they haven't been living through it enough that they're not used to it. People like Saita, like when they get around his age, right, is when probably around like 10, kids kind of get the hang of it. Yeah, it's always sad, like, for many reasons, seeing kids like affected by war, but just the fact that they can't really comprehend it. Like, they know that there's danger, but that's about it, right? And they question it. And you're just trying to like look after them, but they don't really understand that yet. So I feel for Saita. I feel for the kid, obviously, but also like Saita. He's going through a lot, and he also has to deal with, raising a kid, basically. Obviously, the aunt's there, but still, he wants to take more responsibility for her. Nice. Still got a little bit of beauty left around here. You still have a lot, right? Kind of makes you appreciate it more. I don't know why I keep wanting to apologize, right? For some reason, because it's just I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to come off across as like deep, but I do like to like give you guys content for this video so that it's not just you watching me watch a movie and that's literally it. Because I like to put my thoughts into things, and I like to actually like talk about it, right? And this whole scene, it's just giving me off vibes of like, there's always something good out there, right? Like, they've been through all this shit. It's just been half an hour of pure like screwed over, or obviously they're not having a good time. They're losing people. They're hungry, and it's just been bad. But then I love when they throw in scenes of them actually just appreciating something. And it just shows like, look at all this. Look at all this like beauty that is still there. And that almost like when you're like Saita and you go through stuff like this, it makes you appreciate these moments more. It makes you appreciate like the actual beauty, because yeah, your hometown, you grow up, you think it's like just your regular hometown. It gets destroyed. And if you had the chance to go back and look at it before it was destroyed, you'd think like, damn, this place was actually like a really beautiful place before, everything happened. So I don't know. I think I just like when they sprinkle in. It's kind of a necessity in any war media. They need to sprinkle in like a good moment or two just of just pure beauty, right? Just so that everything doesn't seem like complete and utter suffering. Because otherwise, like, what's the point, right? Like, what the hell are those guys doing over there? We're trying to make salt here. Please, some quiet. This kid's adorable. Oh, that's a body, bro. Is that a dead body? Damn, they just put in here? Oh, God. Don't let the kid see it. Like, the face. Don't. Yeah. Another one? Are you serious? Yeah. Just drop everything and run, basically. It's pretty good. Oh, and the kid's gonna say no. Ah, shit. Yeah, that's kind of the problem when you don't. Well, even if the kid knew that the mom was gone, right? I think it would still be the same reaction because kids are very. Oh, I forget the word, and that's so annoying. They like things. They like items. They're emotionally attached to items, like, very easily, right? And honestly, like, you know, not just kids. There's people who are just like that, right? I'm sort of in the middle. If there's certain things, I'll keep them. Like, obviously, if I lost a loved one, I'll want to keep something to remember them by. But kids, they're like, they don't want to let anything go. So, poor kid, man. And it's like, yeah, it's either keep the kid happy or we have food to eat. Yeah. Not even, yeah. It's like, no, it needs to be done. Yeah. Still wants. Yeah, it's got to be tough. I'm fairly certain the kid's dead, right? Like, they haven't confirmed it was her bones, but, you know, he threw that can into the grass and then the kid rose up out of it. So I'm gonna say there's like a 95% chance that kid is dead. So it's got to be tough for him, like, looking back on this, and just some of her last moments were, like, sad, right? Just thinking that, like, she was heartbroken because the kimonos left. And knowing, like, what happens to her in the future, you're thinking, like, damn, I would have wished, like, that we kept it just so that she could have been happier for, like, a few more seconds, a few more minutes. She could have just kept happier, right? Yeah, there we go. It's a sight for sore eyes, right? Yeah, the kid's still sad, of course, but yeah, like, look how happy he is, right? Because he knows that the kid doesn't understand that it's like, you know, life or death, right? Yeah, it's tough. I know I'm talking about it a lot, but just, you can't really explain to a kid, like, why you're eating rice constantly. Like, kids are just gonna be like, I don't want rice. And you can explain to them, you can try, like, you know, it's all we have. We can't afford anything more. And the kid's just like, I don't care. I want something other than rice. I respect the aunt and like Saita actually a lot, because a lot of people would be fed up with the kid at that point. They're like, you know what, just be happy to be alive. But Saita, he still wants to, like, keep the kid happy. He knows that some sacrifices have to be made, like the kimonos, right? But he wants to do everything he can to keep her at least in a good mood. And the aunt, she's putting on a pretty strong face too. Like, she hasn't been mean to the kid. She hasn't been mean to Saita even. She's just been, you know, she's been helping him out. And that's all that matters. Okay, now she's getting fed up. Sorry, I spoke too soon. Oh. Oh. Damn. Okay. You know what? That's a little bit cold. I take back what I said about the aunt. she was good up until that moment. Though I'm not gonna say she was wrong. Like, obviously, you know, Saita is still a kid, so it is kind of mean to just be like, you don't deserve, do you really deserve to eat this rice when you don't do anything for us? It's a little mean, but also when you're in times like this, it's kind it's a touchy subject, right? Like you do kind of want to do everything you can to support the family. I don't know, because he's gone through a lot, man. He just lost his mom. Maybe it's been a few, like it's been a little bit, hasn't it, since he lost his mom? It might have been like a few weeks. I can see where the aunt is coming from, but honestly, like, what, you're just gonna not feed the kid? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Oh my god. But it's true though. Like, well, it's true. They technically didn't work for it, but it is like their mom's kimonos. I don't know. That's difficult. Obviously, you know, if the mom's spirit is watching over, she's probably cursing out the aunt like so much right now. Like, you know, that's my shit that you gave to feed my kids. Don't talk shit about them. But I can't say the aunt's in the wrong completely. Your mother said, oh, so okay, so it's not the mom's sister, it's the dad's sister. Okay, so that makes sense as to why she's not like more, I don't know, emotionally affected. Just cuts to her happy on the train. That's cute. She loves her fruit drops. What can I say? Damn. And yeah, the umbrella's not even like in good shape, right? Full of holes, but it's all you can get. It's not, yeah, like it's not just food, right? You can't even get like a good umbrella that easily anymore. If you're in like the more impoverished area, is that the right term? Poverty stricken, whatever. But if you're in like a worse off area, it's not just food; it's like everything, man. Yep. Who cares? Oh, the kid. Nice. Oh, he looks kind of mad. Yeah. Having to basically buy her off with the fruit drops. He might be getting a little bit sick of it, right? You know, there's only so much patience one man has. Obviously, Saita he's going to have his moments where he's a little fed up with her, right? Or at least fed up with life. Let me do it. So easy to, you know, keep him happy sometimes. Either give him fruit drops or let him play with water. Oh, that's cool. Making like flavored water with it. Kind of like a tea. A nice little fruit tea. It's hard to support the aunt at this point. Like she's just kind of being mean, but it's all your point of view, right? Like, should you, in times like this, I might be the exact same as the aunt if I had my own people to take care of. And then these extra two showed up, even if they are like family, probably family that like you're not that close to. If all of a sudden they show up and you're feeding them and cooking for them and doing all their chores while they're just doing not much, you might get a little bit annoyed with the two. You might say like, you guys are being annoying. You guys got to be better. You got to do something. When he is the right age to be like working or going to school or something, for him to just like kind of be staying. But it is also like he's looking after the kid. I can't at all blame the aunt. I cannot. She's partially in the right, I would say. But also, you know, they are still like the kids, he's still young, right? Like what do you expect him to do? Another raid? How come they're always coming when we're outside? What? We're playing the piano. Yeah, she's going too far with it though, right? Like, these are kids. Sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot. I know I'm talking about it a lot, but come on. Obviously, I'm saying she's partially in the right, but there is lines. Like, there's stuff you shouldn't do. Like, when they're just kind of, like, these are kids in a war. Let them have fun. Let them do their thing. I understand that in these times, even kids his age had to do stuff, had to put in their work. Man, I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but she keeps bothering me. But I understand it, which is worse. It's worse when there's a character that is doing something that annoys you, but you get it, right? You understand it. Live here? Oh, live in the shelter. I guess. If that's allowed, probably, just as long as you have shelter. Oh, cool. Bigger purse for her. Yep, decorated up a little bit. Oh. Yeah. Maybe now she's going to be like, oh, no, please don't. Like, I feel bad. No. She's like, okay. Might actually miss them a little bit. Having, like, you know, an innocent little kid around, kind of, it brings up the mood. Sometimes, right? Like, having someone who isn't so drastically affected by all the darkness that's going on. I can imagine it would actually bring, like, a bit of light to the situation. So maybe, sorry, we're back. Camera battery died. But like I was saying, probably the aunt at, like, this point, she was just so, like, annoyed with them. But now that they're going to be gone, she might think, like, damn, kind of liked having that kid around, just laughing every now and then, just having a good time. Kind of brings a smile to your own face, right? So too late, you know, you kind of made your own bed, but also could apologize for being kind of mean with them. Oh, setting the table and everything. It's kind of cute, right? You know, letting them fend for themselves. But it is early on. They're just happy to be away from the aunt's house doing their own thing, right? Eventually, it would get a bit more difficult. And then if there's another air raid, you got all these people coming here. Frogs, yeah. They're great. Yeah, tastes like chicken, right? That's what I've heard. I can't say I've ever tried. Don't know if I ever will. Yeah. It's like when you got those, like, glow-in-the-dark stars on your ceiling in your bedroom. It's just the next best thing, right? Right out in nature. Well, I guess you could just, like, sleep outside and see the actual stars, but overrated. Oh. Yeah, they die, right? Damn. Oh. Dead fireflies. Grave of the Fireflies. Okay, maybe that's where maybe that's all it is, guys. Maybe that's all there is to it. Just some fireflies died. Everything, movie over. We're good. Nice. See you later. I don't know. It's nice that Saita has those memories of, like, his dad and the naval review and all that stuff. But then it also brings up those thoughts for him, right? Like, he can't even have those memories and them just be, like, innocent memories, because now he's thinking, like, where's dad? And he's probably feeling, like, a little bit lonely because he has Setsuka here, but she doesn't understand everything that's going on. So I do wonder if there's a part of Saita that just wishes he could, like, talk to somebody that gets the situation like he does. Because even when he was living with, like, his aunt, he wasn't really able to talk with her because it was just complaining, and it was just all that, like, she would just whine about it. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a bit of, like, a loneliness thing going on with Saita too, that they're sort of hinting at. Maybe it's not part of it, but it does seem like it's kind of playing with the whole, like, you know, he has his sister, but is that enough in times like this? Like, he wishes he had his dad, sure. That's the thing, like I was saying at the very beginning, with the mom, like, if the mom died and they never knew, like, that's just, they don't get that closure, right? If they never see the body, if they never hear anything. It's the same with what the dad is right now. Like, it would just be nice for him to know, like, what happened to his dad. Oh, mom is in a grave. She knows, right? Oh, did she see it? Oh, the aunt told her? Oh. Damn. He's probably a little pissed. Oh, the tears. That's tough. Yeah, because now he's just thinking, like, this whole time, this kid's known that mom's dead and she just hasn't said anything. She hasn't complained about it. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, was the aunt, sorry, I know I'm switching between, like, aunt and aunt, but it's kind of something my head does, so. Or should the aunt have told her, really? And even if, like, she did tell her, well, she did tell her, should she have mentioned to Saita that she did it? Should she, or maybe she should have run it past him first? Because obviously the aunt didn't really respect Saita. So it feels like more of a disrespect thing for her to go behind his back and tell the kid. Though the kid has a right to know, you could say, though it would have been nice if she at least let Saita in on it. Told him, like, you know, we have to tell the kid. Because the aunt is the adult. You could argue she might know better and know that the kid deserves to know that. But still, leaving Saita out of it like that just leaves like a bad taste in the mouth, right? So, but anyway, so yeah, the Fireflies have a grave now. So credits roll. We're done. I'm out of here. Oh, poor kid. Oh yeah, he still has the box too. So it's like, oh, so he's even lying to her about like where she is, right? Because I that's her ashes, isn't it? I'm fairly certain. So I mean, maybe he plans to bury her there. Maybe he plans to bury the ashes there. So it's kind of a white lie, you know, for the good of her. Okay, I see where I kind of see where they got the namesake of the movie from. Grave of the Fireflies. It's sort of a metaphor for like the mom, right? Or for all of them, right? Because, well, why do fireflies have to die so soon? Damn, disrespect, dude. Yeah, at that point, you might as well go back and apologize just for the sake of living, right? It's worth more than that. Yeah, and he's still refusing. I don't know. That is sort of questionable on his part, on Saita's part. God damn! Oh shit! Holy fuck, man! Is the kid okay? Tell me the kid's okay. I think she's okay. Oh, now he's gonna be stealing food, right? Shit. Well, ignoring that for a second. No, on Saita's part, like even now they're showing that he's stealing food rather than just going back and apologizing to the aunt, which, like, even if he doesn't want to apologize, even if he doesn't think he needs to apologize, you're at the point where you have your sister to take care of, your baby sister. She needs food. She needs a lot of food. The fact that the government is like properly rationing it now means that, well, the aunt still is probably going to say, like, you know, you should be working, right? But it's worth putting up with it just so that you guys have like food and shelter, right? They have the shelter, but like they just showed, those kids came around and just fucking, you know, they're messing with it, right? So it's better to have just a home to come back to. Yeah, and stealing food, that's kind of, it's a little shitty to steal food. Like, yeah, there's a lot of it there, but also, come on, what even is that? Or is it just because it's like a policeman and they might question like where these kids live? Maybe it's kind of like, you know, wrong for these kids to be on their own still. Oh? Oh, yeah. Oh. She's sick? Maybe not getting the right nutrition sort of thing? Yeah, now he's just stealing a bunch of food. Getting caught. Damn, they didn't bring him back? Damn. Jeez. What, just leaving the kid? Why is the farmer just okay with leaving the kid here by herself? God. I don't know. I can't, like, obviously, yeah. What he's doing to Saita right now is shitty. It's incredibly shitty. You don't have to freaking give him to the cops because he just tried to steal some food for his sister. Like, yeah, he was doubting that it was for the sister, right? When he first caught him, it's just like, it's a lie. But now he sees the sister, and he could at least pity him a little bit. Say, like, okay, don't do it again. But also, like, you know, it is a crime in wartime. Like, these farmers and stuff, they're literally growing this food for their own family and for, like, to sell to other people that will feed other families, right? And that money that they sell it for also provides for their own family. Like, you don't know what their situation is. So it's obvious, like, Saita, he's fucking up too, like, just stealing food. Like, he has an option of not stealing food. He could go back to the aunt's place, and then even with that, he could go to the doctor, right? He could bring the sister to the doctor, because they wouldn't have to ask any questions, like, what's she been eating? Where are you living? It's just kind of his own stubbornness got in the way. Maybe after, he's dealt with the police a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. It just feels wrong. Yeah. At least the cop's on his side. Like, you didn't have to beat him this bad. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Because, yeah, he admits, like, yeah, the crime is bad, but also you didn't have to beat this kid just for food, right? For trying to get food. Could have just grabbed him and brought him to the police immediately. He wanted to, instead he beat the kid, made the kid bring him back to the shelter so that he could see what else he's done. Saw the girl, didn't give a shit, left the girl there by herself, and continued just dragging this kid along. It's very shitty. At least the cop has some sympathy, right? Yeah, not even charging him or anything. Yeah. He's been trying to be strong, right? And he's been doing a good job taking care of her, but there's some stuff that's just, like, beyond your control at some points in time. You can't do anything about it. Oh, she's trying to look after him. Yeah. Yeah, kind of a little bit dark there. Like, him realizing that the girl might actually, like, straight up, she's saying, like, I'll take you to the doctor, when this whole time she's been feeling bad. He hasn't ever, I don't think he said that to her, right? Like, let's go to the doctor. He's just been saying, like, oh, it's okay. Like, we'll get through this. We need more food. Kind of avoiding the situation. So maybe, I don't know. This sucks. Oh, God. And he's taking the opportunity to steal food, too. Come on, man. Get to the girl, dude. It's a little messed up, right? Okay, the girl's okay, but, I mean, it's not looking that good. Yeah. It's messed up. He takes the opportunity to just steal. It just feels bad, man. And he's kind of, like, he's celebrating it, too? That's a little messed up. I mean, I feel bad for him that he's been driven to a point like that where he thinks that's okay. It's not 100% his fault, but he has to take some of the blame, right? Oh, God. And he's like celebrating, he's happy, but the girl is sick, right? He's like enjoying. Yeah, be sure your sister's okay, man. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Finally bringing her to a doctor. I'm not even, like, happy it took him so long to do. Like, malnutrition. Food, yeah. Needs proper food, something the ration would probably give her, right? Yeah, I'm so desperate for just water. Or is that supposed to be the food? Like, why, man? Just go to the aunt, please. Like, why is he being so stubborn with it? Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, no, that's kind of another thing that's been overlooked, is he keeps leaving her just alone while he's going to do this stuff. So obviously, like, it's something you wouldn't think about too much, but that would also affect on a kid, because she's just like, she wakes up and he's just gone. Like, it's kind of scary when you're that young and when she's feeling so sick. Surrendered unconditionally. Yeah. That would be a bit of a shock. Damn. Yeah. That's honestly, this guy, you could have put it a little bit nicer, bro. Like, you don't know the relationship any of these people had with the Navy. Like, he's just someone asked about, like, oh, is the Navy okay? No, they're all gone. They all just sunk right to the bottom. It's like, dude, you could put that a little bit nicer, man. Well, it's kind of something we knew would happen because he's been by himself this long. The guy never wrote. Yeah. Yeah, Dad's gone. Oh, yeah. Basically, his whole family, right? Well, the family he cares about is gone. Yeah. And still hiding, even though the war's over. It's just one of those things. Just so used to it. It's just ingrained into you at this point. You hear an airplane, you duck. It would be a hell of a shock to Saito. Anyway, hearing that his country surrendered and that his dad is likely dead, maybe they'll prove us wrong. I feel so bad for Saito, but also at this point, I'm so mixed because, like, isn't the aunt still an option? Like, why is he just not thinking about it? Like, he just doesn't want to apologize? And that's it? Even when it's like a life or death thing? Yeah. No. Just a marble. What, she was just pretending, like, kind of hallucinating. Look what's happening, man. You've got fucking dude. God damn. This is dark, dude. Like, why, Saito? Why? Oh, why did he make... He should have changed his mind a lot sooner. He still hasn't even changed his mind. He's still saying he's going to cook the food for her. And in this situation, sure, like, you just want to get her food as fast as possible. It's not going to bring her to, like, the aunt's place right now. But it's also, like, through everything. Like, she's passed out. You've been to the doctor. The doctor tells you that she just needs food. She needs better food, a lot of food, whatever. And his choice is to still do this. And then, obviously, once he hears that the war is over, he realizes that he can't even, like, steal anything because he was using the raids as cover. So now that the raids are going to be over, what would be his cover now? How would he steal the food or the clothes that he can trade or anything like that? So now he's, like, at a dead end. Like, he's just got the 3,000 yen from, what was it, like a ration type thing? Or I'm not sure, but still, you just gotta, bro, just go to the aunt. I've said it many times. Why is he so stubborn? And we know how it ends, too, so it makes me think he just doesn't even go there at all. And he just leaves her again. That's... Son of a bitch, dude. I knew it was coming, but just the way that it really could have been avoided. I thought this movie was more going to be about, like, well, it is obviously about, you know, war and the incredibly drastic effects, the dark shit that goes on during war, but it also seems to be a thing about, like, selfishness in a way. Like, sorry, the movie's not done, obviously, but it just kind of, it caught me really off guard of how it's obviously it's showing, like, what people will stoop to in times like this and due to their own nature, their own sort of selfishness, I guess. But still, like, even then, when she looked so weak, she was basically hallucinating food at that point, and he still, like, left her to go get more food for her because what, he thought that was the right answer. Yeah. Yeah, and that was like his whole reason for living, right? Was his sister. So then he just basically gave up. Is there anyone else to blame? I don't know. It feels wrong to say, but Saita's a good part of, like, it. Oh, and damn, he just left his mom's ashes behind. Yeah. Such an innocent kid, too. Just basically, like, it's dark as hell. I don't even know what to say, man. It feels like I shouldn't even talk at all. Because it's just a kid that kind of got caught up in the war. Like, she didn't know anything, right? She's just an innocent kid that was following her brother. And it feels wrong to say, but like, Saito, man, you could have done, I don't know if it's like a message on like selfishness or just like stubbornness or what they're going for, but it's like more could have been done to like keep her. Oh, I don't know. Poor Saito, man. And he hasn't even like it hasn't shown him like emotional about it. I'm sure there probably was like tears, but also like he's just so like cold to it now. He's lost a lot of people and he's been through a lot of shit that at this point he might blame himself. He might straight up be thinking like, I should have done it differently. But at this point it's too late, right? And he knows it and he can't do anything. He can't say anything. And sort of as a form of punishment, he kind of goes into the city and kind of dies there, like from starvation, maybe, whether by choice, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, the Fireflies. Yep. That's cute. And now they're like together in, I don't know, the afterlife, grave of the Fireflies, if that's what they want to call it. Oh, is that like modern day? Looking over the modern world, it's just been watching. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's still there looking over it all. What it all led to? Okay. Okay. Damn. That was fun. No, that movie was about what I expected it to be. A little bit different, right? Like, it wasn't... I was more expecting, like, a war survival type of movie. Like, they might have gotten taken out by the war. You know, it would be him looking after his sister and something bad would happen. That, like, she gets taken out. Or they both get taken out. I thought it would be, like, a sad story about two people trying to survive and like the war messing it up, right? The war being just so devastating and unforgiving that they just couldn't push through it as two young kids, right? But it was more a story. There was definitely that aspects of how the war, like, it's relentless. Like, there's parts that you can try to fight it, but a lot of the time it'll get the better. Like food, supplies, all that stuff, they're hard to come by. It makes life a hell of a lot more difficult. But towards the end of the movie, where it turns into like, it was more his own selfishness in a way that got in the way of them like surviving. Because I think that's what was happening, right? Because like a few people told him, you should go back to your aunt and you should just like apologize, even if you don't want to. You should do it because then, like, everything's rationed. You'll get your food. Your sister will get enough food. He would have to put up with the aunts again, but, like, that's kind of a small price to pay for food on the table and not dealing with, like, malnutrition and all that sickness, diarrhea. It would kind of just go away as long as you got the right food. But even after the doctor told him that, he was still so stubborn that he didn't want to, like, he kept trying to fend for himself at that point. And obviously, you know, with hindsight, he wouldn't have even had to deal with the aunt too much complaining because the war was over fairly soon, like afterwards, after that talk with the doctor. So, like, she wouldn't have been able to complain anymore. But obviously, like, he doesn't know that. He probably thought the war might go on for a long time. Like, a lot of his life has just been dealing with the war. A lot of the life he remembers anyway would be surviving and going to the shelters and all that stuff. It's all he knows. So when he learned that, you know, the war was over, it obviously surprised him quite a bit, because he's like, shit, now what do I do? Like, I don't know. It sucks, man, because Saito was a good character. And obviously I'm not saying he's a bad character. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad person for what he did, but also, like, he's to blame for some of it, right? He couldn't look past his own pride to care for his sister. I'm not saying that's all on him, because it is sort of, it's almost like the aunt pushed him to it in a way. She was always saying, like, we have to do our own part in this war. Like, you are a young boy. There's many young boys out there taking responsibility, taking care of their families, doing that. So maybe that pushed him into, like, the mindset of, I need to look after my sister because I'm the responsible one. I'm what's left of my family, because my mom's dead. My dad's out in the Navy, who could have been dead the whole time. So maybe that was just him being like, that was just him thinking, like, I have to do this because I'm the older brother and I take care of my sister. So, and he didn't want to just give up, right? He didn't want to have to admit that he couldn't do that and that she was right and go back to her. But still, like, at that point when your sister is starting to hallucinate food, I think at that point it was just too late for her altogether when he had that last talk with her. But even before that, he should have maybe realized, like, my pride isn't worth it. Like, I want her to live. A lot of the movie is kind of telling us, like, war, obviously. The war is what had that effect on him. The war caused it. But it's also people that make, like, the wrong decisions, right? When they're put in situations like that, it's not just, you can't blame it all on the war. I don't quite understand the ending, like, where, well, I guess, like, it's not that complicated, I guess, but I don't know if they meant something more specific. The ending of him, like, of them both, well, him specifically, because she was asleep, looking over sort of modern day Tokyo, or a modern day city. And, like, he was still there just on the bench with his sister watching over with the Fireflies. I'm not sure exactly what they meant by that. That could have been, like whether it's saying, like, you know, the spirits of the people who lost their lives are still here, like, looking over everything. And it's just as simple as that. I don't know. Maybe it's more deep. It's probably more deep, you know, being Studio Ghibli. It's just the same thing kind of happened with me and Howl's Moving Castle, where it had a lot more, like, messaging and stuff that I couldn't quite catch. This one, honestly, like, sorry, I should actually say my thoughts. This movie, it was good. It's a great movie in a different sense than I would say any other movie. Like, any positive movie is great. It's a great movie for its messaging, for what it shows, for what it, like, reveals of people. And it's sort of a necessary movie. Like, it's one of those movies that you watch once and that's enough, right? You get the idea. You get that it's brutal. It's not a movie you watch for a good time. It's a movie you watch to learn, like, to experience what it was kind of like back then. And I do have an appreciation for the movie. I think if I had watched this movie before reading the one book that I was talking about, Pachinko, I would have, like, it would have had the same effect mostly, but it gave me a bit more of an appreciation, because it really goes to show, like, how absolutely messed up the system, like, can be in a war like this. Like, when everyone is just so affected by this war, they turn sort of greedy, they turn selfish, like the farmer. A lot of people, they stay nice, like the farmer that actually, like, sold stuff to him and helped him out. But then there's the farmer, like the one who caught him stealing and just beat him, like, way too much, and then brought him to the cops. And it's weird how you can understand both sides, right? Even the farmer who beat him up, you get that he's making a living too. Like, it's kind of wrong of Saita to all of a sudden just be stealing his food that he's worked hard to make, that he's working hard to sell so that he can fend for himself and his family. It sucks that you can't understand someone when they do something bad like that. It's nice. It's necessary, though, in this movie, because nobody does bad just because they're, like, well, some people, sure, they just have bad judgment and they do bad things all the time. But in a war, it's a little more complex. You are just trying to survive, right? No one's just being greedy for the sake of being greedy. They're being greedy because they want to live, right? It makes it a little more difficult to decide who's in the right, who's in the wrong, if there even is a right and wrong side. It's kind of just however you're surviving, you keep at it because that's how it goes. And that's where the stubbornness comes from, right? If they find a way to survive, they don't want to change that. They don't want to mess anything up because it could screw with their whole livelihood. And that's kind of maybe what was in Saita's head. Maybe he thought like he was working as hard as he could to keep his sister alive. He thought it couldn't get any better, right? Like he just had to work harder, or he just had to try harder. Even though he was already trying as hard as he could, he just wouldn't register that like the aunt would be the way easier choice, the way more plausible for them both surviving. I'm not going to pretend to understand the whole movie because I don't get all the themes. I don't get all the messages, but it had some very good moments and some very sad moments. I'm surprised I didn't cry because I swear, guys, I have cried to stuff before. I think it's a little bit different. I think I've talked about this in a video like a long ass time ago. I think when I was watching like To Your Eternity or something, I said how it's sort of different when you're recording a video, at least for me. And I feel like probably a lot of guys out there. I have seen guy YouTubers who shed a tear, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have no issue. I would definitely, like, if I find something that hits the feels hard, I can cry no problem. Like with A Silent Voice, when I watched that, I cried that one. I cried a hell of a lot the first time I watched that movie. And I think just when I'm recording a video, though, it's a little different. It's like if you had like a person with you, it feels a little weird. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it does definitely have an effect. Maybe if I was alone watching it in a dark room, I might have shed a tear too. But also, like, sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that, flinging the hat around. But no, I definitely, like, it was tear worthy. I understand why this movie is like so emotionally like charged in the anime community. It's like bring some tissues because you're gonna be shedding a tear. I didn't. I'm sad. I'm kind of sad that I didn't. Not saying the movie didn't deserve it, just saying that I myself did not shed a tear. That's all there is to it. And that, you know, I wouldn't mind to shed a tear, just so you guys know I'm capable of more emotions than just being a weird YouTube hype guy, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, it still feels bad to even like laugh during this movie. I instantly regretted just laughing. Oh, and there it is again. No, like this movie, it's important. It has those important themes, and it went even darker than I thought it was going to be, because like it kind of makes you question the main character of Saita, right? Like it's kind of obvious that his call was wrong, right? And even in the end, he sort of killed himself in a way. Like I feel like, well, he was poor, right? And he was just living on the street or whatever, and he just died from starvation. I don't know if he just decided to not eat anything. I'm guessing that might be the case because he felt so guilty over his sister dying, and he just felt like there was nothing left to live for. Incredibly dark. If that is how it went, or if he was just poor and he couldn't afford food, and by the time that lady gave him like the food on the street in the beginning, he was just already dead, maybe, and he couldn't eat it. I feel like it was more he chose not to, right? I feel like that makes a little more sense because, yeah, he messed up, and that's a tough way of putting it, but it kind of is the case, right? He made the wrong call with the aunt, I think is safe to say. I don't know. I just don't like. It doesn't feel right talking about it, even though it's like, I think it would be fictional, right? Like obviously, you know, the afterlife stuff is fictional, but maybe it's based off somewhat of a true story. Like, you know, obviously people in war, I wouldn't be surprised if this was based off of something. So I don't want to say like, you know, they're wrong, they're bad. Like if you're in war, your whole psyche changes, right? In some positions. So you can't necessarily look at Saita and say like, you're wrong, why the fuck would you do that? You kind of have to think like, you know, if I were in that situation and you had some aunt who was constantly like degrading you, saying like you have to do more, would you want to go back? I feel like most of us would say, yeah, we would go back because it's the sister, right? I think I would do that, but it's hard to, like, unless you're in that specific situation, it's difficult to say. Like, I don't know. The all I know is the sister got kind of screwed because she was just following her brother, and her brother was kind of leading her in the wrong direction. And like, she was just an innocent little kid. I know I've said that a lot, but it is the case. She was just innocent, and she trusted her brother, and her brother obviously like cared for her, but it's like, was he the right one to make those calls? Probably not. Probably not. Should have just stuck with the aunt. It was an interesting choice to never show like the aunt again. It was an interesting choice not to show her and like her thought at all. Like, did she worry about them? Did she wonder what happened to them? Did she even care at all? I'm sure part of her did. I'm sure part of her might have regretted letting, like, kind of pushing the kids away because, you know, it's war, right? You kind of just sent 2 kids off to fend for themselves. And you would probably feel pretty bad about that after a minute. You'd say like, okay, maybe I was wrong and I just pushed these kids onto the street basically because I was just annoyed with them. But it's kind of nice that they didn't show that because there was enough emotional distraught going on and that we didn't need to see the effects of any other characters. And they handled the story really well. Like, I was wondering if they were legitimately going to kill off the kid. I thought they might, like, you know, psych us out, have it be something else, and the kid like would go back to the aunt, but the guy would still die. But the fact that they went that far just to like prove the point, I gotta say, like, you know, necessary probably, like, just kind of nail it in there. The themes that they were going for, even if I don't fully understand them, I think I get them. Like, if it is just a selfishness thing, which it very much seems like it, but I don't want to say for sure because I can miss stuff and it's complicated, right? I'm not saying Saito was selfish. I'm not saying he was wrong, though it very much seems like it. I'm just saying, like, you know, war, it'll do fucked up things to your head. You don't really know what's right or wrong anymore. And like, he thought he was doing the right thing, and that's all there was to it, right? Even though it was maybe his own pride, and that's all that really matters. But no, I just, the movie was good. I'm sorry that I didn't have more of an emotional reaction. I was thinking I might, but no, I enjoyed the movie. I guess enjoyed the movie because it had some important messaging. I'm not going to watch it again anytime soon. That's for damn sure. Like, it looked beautiful too. Sorry. I'm always watching anime and like not commenting on the actual like animation. But no, the animation was actually, like, obviously it's Ghibli. It's going to look good. And they obviously, like, they knew the story they were telling needed to have some top-notch visuals to it, right? They didn't go anything like super extravagant, but it was very like nuanced and more like chill than they usually do because it wasn't like a fantasy. It wasn't like an adventure. They knew the story they were telling and they matched it really well with the animation. They had their beautiful moments with like the beach and the fireflies and the rain. Honestly, like, the rain looked really good. The raids, not the rain, the raids, they looked very, the way they animated them made them actually seem like a really huge threat, right? Like, you just got these things like raining down on you. And just, you hear airplanes and you're like, oh shit. Or you hear like the siren and it's like, oh God, again. So I appreciated everything to do artistically with this movie and the story. Honestly, like, I highly respect movies that go into territory like this. Like, even if they have a sad ending to it, it's something that happens, right? So I might even go as far as to say, like, this is one of my favorite movies that I've watched recently, right? All right, guys, I'm here quick because I need to finish the video because I ran out of SD card space on my camera, of course, and I didn't bring my spare with me, so I'm just gonna finish this off quick. Like I was saying, might be one of my more favorite movies I've watched recently. Doesn't mean it's like enjoyable. Well, it is enjoyable, obviously, like, it's all good, but I'm not gonna watch it again anytime soon, right? I really appreciate what they did. I actually really enjoyed that. I just appreciate what they were doing. Right, I appreciate the story they wanted to tell, and that they did it like really, really well. They said what they wanted to say. They weren't afraid to pull punches. Really, like, they just went in. They went all in on it, and I'd say they did a really good job. Studio Ghibli, I wasn't expecting them to really put out dark movies like this. So they have like darker themes. No, I guess like it's okay. Hey, you know, any sort of like anytime a studio is willing to do something different, I can't help but have respect for it. Like, rather than just following like a formula, easily Studio Ghibli could have just kept with kids' films. And obviously they do for the most part,
but they're not afraid to branch out and try other things. Or sorry, they were. I don't even know if Studio Ghibli, like, I know they've been like on and off. I think maybe the lead guy died. I'm sorry. As an anime fan, it feels wrong to not be like up to date on it. But anyway, no, I respect them. Whoever made the call to do this, whatever people decided that, good job. Like they don't need to hear that from me, but I just want to say I respect them, you, whoever. But no, that's gonna be it, because I made this video plenty long enough. I'm gonna have a hell of a lot of editing to do. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode, or this video, sorry. And if you guys enjoyed, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on any other movies I do, or any of the series that I'm doing currently. I think by the time I post this video, probably the last episode of Made in Abyss, or at least the second last, might be up. Kuroko no Basket, I finished season 1 recently, and Attack on Titan are going at this moment. So if you want to check those out, please do. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, the movie, whatever you want to say, and any recommendations for other movies that you'd like to see me watch and react to. And I do have a Patreon link down below if you want to help support the channel a little bit more. It gives you early access to videos and all that good stuff. And it's just highly appreciated from me. So that is going to be it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace.